Alright. Alright, where do I live? I think chapter 13. Oh, I haven't done the hard mode. Kinda wish that I can just read the synopsis. Very impractical as well. Wait, how do I even read the story again? Bro. Oh, I haven't done this as well. Oh well. Can I just read the story? The hell?
Program activated.
Moxie. Start more than small. Ah, solo tipo. That's a shame.
It is here. I can hear it. Charging. Loading.
Whatever. Oh wow, I'm getting so little.
Faraday's miracle. Barrage.
Oh yeah, I just need to deal with this.
Cheer up. I will remember your sacrifice.
Alright.
I admire your courage. It is here.
The moment of silence.
Ah.
Here. For you and for us. Tu peux la jeter maintenant, la charme d'opère.
Learn from silence.
Wow, I'm getting my ass being kicked so hard.
The moment of
I can hear it.
Yeah, I think it's better if I just apply buff myself.
We walk in long nights.
Eliminate target.
Kinda ridiculous how fucking hard this chicken hit me.
Cheer up.
And it's... yeah, now I remember why I didn't do this hard stage. This guy just hits super hard. No, like so no tipo.
The moment of silence.
I will remember your sacrifice. It is here. Loading.
Until the torch is lit.
Keep up the pace.
What? I forgot. You know what, maybe Isolde is a bad choice.
I admire your courage.
Yeah, I think I should not use Isolde for this one. It's just annoying. So how do I read the story again? But yeah, if I had done this, then I should have read this. Where's the... Seriously, can I? How do I read the story again? Pretty sure there's a button for that. Oh, it's here. Alright. I'll read this. 14 and I guess this is where the last time I left. This is where Adler actually not enter her room, I think. Deadly silence. Hunter Anima stumbles back, nearly falling over another person in the room.
She's dead.
The piston lies motionless on the ground, as lifeless as any other object.
This is what you wanted to show me?
His harpoon in his ears as he bends his clenched eye.
To watch her utter a curse that's always brought death, only to die in vain? And you just let it happen?
Ulrich looked at him, his voice poised and steady.
Calm down.
Calm down. She's dead right there. You murderer.
We have already repeated this experiment many times.
Enigma is in disbelief.
Many times? What? You've sent people to their deaths over and over again?
The ferrofluid flows again, forming a shape that Anima can only interpret as disdain.
Look at you, Adler, peeing your pants over a curse. The human boy is so scared that he forgot to ask the crucial question. Did the ritual work?
But what do you mean? The curse. The side effect killed her. The experiment failed. Is that not what happened?
No. Triggering the curse and failure are two separate things. I was the first one to recite the incantation, way before Dora. When I read it aloud, it worked. I felt the warmth of a miraculous blessing on my head. Soft, light as a feather. I told Madame Lucy right away, but as soon as she left the room, the curse hit me, and I began to liquefy. There was no one else in the room. My liquid form had become too insubstantial to push the help button. A long darkness followed. After that, I woke up again in my original primitive form. The way I first came into this world.
Original primitive form?
The ferrofluid pulsage, which in Ulrich's body language is a nod.
Unlike humans, the awakened have neither flesh nor nerves. We are pieces of consciousness, echoes of a primordial melody that just happen to reside in material objects by chance. With a mind and a body combined, we could talk, learn, think like you do, and perform the experiment and endure the side effects. And this curse, for some reason, cannot affect the primal consciousness that caused our awakening in the first place. While human minds dissipate when their tangible bodies are destroyed, our minds reawaken regardless of the changes and destruction of our external bodies. Of course, this was an assumption based on idealized circumstances, and I needed another awakened being who could awaken in different bodies to confirm my theory. That is why I sought out Madame Lucy for cross-verification. The results?
Yes, it was an assumption. You said it yourself. You came back to life this time. But what about the next? Nothing is for sure in Arcanum. What if she never wakes up again? What if she dies for good?
He swats Enigma's hands. He swats Enigma's hands away.
We know what we are doing, human. Stay out of this. Only the awakened can carry out the experiment. So we must proceed. This has nothing to do with race. It is a sense of duty that every researcher should have possessed when they chose this path. We have to go beyond the limit. Not out of madness, but out of rationality.
Silence fills the room, like the beginning of time when there's no sound to be heard. Then slowly the piston starts to spin.
We seem to have replicated effect number 2. And 117 of the Coleman Lab's protective rituals were proven ineffective. Write it down, Simone. This is the 4th time we have seen it. Also, number 45 and 69 are related to it. We need to speed up. This is too slow.
It's just piston. The hell. Being prepared for all possible outcomes requires significant amount of metal material, but it is essential for data collection and analysis. With a soft hum, the robot turns her head and looks at Enigma, surprised.
Adler, what are you doing here? I am glad to see you out of your room and working with us again.
No, he's not on the team, Mum. He forced his way in here.
Oh? My apologies. I seem to lose a small amount of data when I reawaken.
Really? She smiles at him, as she always does.
Still, I am glad that you are showing initiative, Adler. Were we supposed to talk?
No. We have nothing more to discuss, ma'am. Ulrich has filled me in on everything, but I still worry whether the experiment's risks were properly assessed.
Assessments will only be assessments. Much is beyond measure when it comes to Arcanum. Perhaps faith plays a more important role here.
I'm surprised it is you talking about faith, ma'am.
It seems we both have the ability to surprise each other.
As they speak, the robot strolls over to her chair and sits
You
back
are right.
down.
Assessments could indeed be useful to us. It allows us to know the probabilities of success and failure based on established facts and past experience.
Indeed.
But when we find ourselves in uncharted darkness, with no information or past experience to guide us, how are assessments going to help us?
She ponders and stares at the void. Perhaps the experiment did fry some circuit. She is more sentimental than usual.
The only thing we have in such darkness is the unwavering faith to move forward.
You know, the auto is not working. I didn't even flick it, so I'm not sure why this text suddenly skip over to the next. For the... I don't know. For the non-dialogue text, I guess.
When the first steam engine whistled, I awoke into this world. At the beginning of this new life, my circuits were charged with a singular primal desire to progress. In the midst of that never-ending whistle, I have watched man build the towers of science and knowledge, and I have watched them unleash chaos and destruction. You too have been lost and deterred, but your engines of progress have never stopped churning. Always move forward, no matter the destination you told yourselves, until the storm brought everything to a standstill. But this is just a small setback. We are only back to the beginning where we stumble blindly. And this time, I happen to have a cane.
She gives him a tender smile.
No need to worry about me. I will not shut down as long as there is still hope for progress. We have wasted a bit of time on data recovery. Come, Simone. Let us begin the next experiment. I hope to dissolve into paste this time, so we can easily handle it with a Coleman's ritual of transformation.
That's a weird request, but alright. The human researcher knows that it'll be inappropriate for him to stay here any longer. Gritting his teeth, he moves toward the door, trying his best to leave the horrific scene behind him. Someone is waiting for him by the door.
Seen enough? We know what we are doing, and you are of no help here. It's been the same old story in this place for the past 8 years. When your faith crumbled during the storm, it was us who took over the place and cleaned up after you. It was us who got things back up and running, put coals in the hearth, and blazed a trail when everyone was lost in the dark. I know you may not understand the intricacies of the Arcanum, but please, show some basic respect for our efforts.
Will you do the experiments yourself, Ulrich?
Of course. I am not some emotional, unhelpful little punk.
Instead of his usual comeback, Enigma simply shakes his head in a slow motion.
Do you still remember Adams?
A sudden question that seems out of place. A fear of fleet quivers. The name seems to unearth memories that have been buried for 8 years long in the confines of this institution.
Adams, Roman, Adolf, Sylvia, Albert, Louise, those who were taken from us by the rain. Melvin, Francis, Caroline, Leopold. They volunteered for the field, but we never heard from them again. Now we have Dora, Richard, Dawkins, and Victor on the list. Life has a wicked sense of humor. My mentor, my classmates, my colleagues. Each of them deserved to live more than me. But they're all gone now. There's only me talking to you. Alive. Useless. Am I going to see your names on that list too, Ulrich?
In this rare moment, he lowers his head. But soon he raises his arm and slaps the man hard on the back.
Spare me the feelings, human. Though I will take back my sarcastic jabs at you, it is not something a leader should do. Madame Lucy talked to me about the importance of teamwork.
He awkwardly pats the man on the shoulder, a clumsy attempt at friendliness.
Go back to your room, Adler. The Arcanists will take over from here. Until we get the results, you won't be needed here.
Enigma heaves a breath.
I will say this, Ulrich. If you survive the experiments...
Alarmed by the opening words, Ulrich instantly turned his receiver to avoid hearing anything to warn. That will be more painful than suffering through 100 experimental side effects.
I will submit the sincerest application to never be on the same team as you again. So neither of us will have to worry about teamwork. How's that sound?
Haha.
A curve that almost resembles a smile appears on his face.
I will wait for that application, Adler.
Man, I should have broke train. Now roll up your sleeve and clear your mind. This is not the time to grieve. If human reasoning and arcane knowledge are not on their own, perhaps a combination of the two can solve this problem. Raptor is in shambles. Its metal plate barely hanging on. A wooden sign reading "Keep out of space precariously," covered in bite marks and scratches. Enigma takes a moment before finally knocking on the door. A voice answers from within.
Who's there?
Adler Hoffman from the cryptography team. Is Medicine Pocket in? I heard that they wrote a paper on the linear correlation between the purity of an Arcanist bloodline and their power. Can I get some more details on the research?
The door creaks open to reveal a youthful face, but she is not the genius he is looking for. The lab technician looks at him through her glasses and hesitates a little.
The paper is here. Help yourself. Sorry about the stains on it. I just took it out of the trash.
Wow.
If you're looking for Medicine Pocket, I'm afraid they just left.
Left? To where?
There is a subtle conflict on her face. She is torn between covering for her colleagues and following the rules. It's more than enough for him to catch on.
They left the building? Hasn't the countdown already begun?
Yes, and by regulations we are not to leave. But, they said their new theory had to be verified in the storm.
Wow. The pioneer is done. So, what is this? 16. Ooh. Nothing I really read. At least I don't know I read the 30. Because it's just very short. Yeah, I should probably get a drink first.
Ha! Fresh air, green grass, the dew, the mud. This is what I'm talking about. A better world.
They kick them underground with their boots in ecstasy. The Mud's brothers on the Foundation staff member jackets, but he remains professional and does not bat an eye.
Researcher Medicine Pocket, I must remind you that we are at the edge of the immunity zone to the storm. Once we cross the line, we will not only catch the storm syndrome, but also be taken by the storm at the end of the countdown.
The entrance on the Foundation headquarters is bustling with personnel. As the storm approaches, a long line of field investigators head from at the gate, waiting to pass through the security. Medicine Pocket grunts. They spread their hands in frustration, clearly unhappy with how skilled the staff member is at avoiding confrontation.
I know that. How stupid do you think I am? Hey, isn't that Rudolph? The poor guy sent to Tunguska?
I like that voice though. Very ambiguous voice.
Hey man, how was Siberia? Welcome back. Did you
Yeah,
bring
so
me
like
any
a
new
dude.
research materials? Oh, you don't recognize me? You're breaking my heart. It's me, your best friend that you just met, Medicine Pocket.
Medicine Pocket's attempt to approach the lines is quickly thwarted. The staff member has to practically yank them back by their arms and legs.
Researcher, I must make clear that you only applied for 15 minutes outside for research purposes. Your countdown starts from the moment when you cross this line.
Okay, safety first, I know. Get off me, you're hurting my arms.
Medicine Pocket struggles desperately and finally manages to plant all four limbs back on the ground.
I'll bounce as soon as the storm syndrome hits. Even if I catch it, look at the syndromes of this era. Distorted faces, murderous intentions, obsession with war, rampage. What's got you so worried? They aren't that bad. Well, the melting faces part is kind of gross.
The staff member responds with a blank expression. Medicine Pocket shrugs. They kneel down and open up a litter case. 1 week is more than enough for a genius like them to upgrade an old apparatus. This is the second version on the sampling device for asymmetrical nuclide R, boasting improved sensitivity compared to its predecessor.
I really wanted to test this in Vienna. Oh well, better than nothing. Alright, now, I'm gonna walk a little further from the immunity zone so the samples are easier to gather. The ideal distance is 1,500 kilometers, but, oh, don't worry, not gonna do that. Even I can't run that fast.
They hold the sampling device in their hands and step across the boundary. Behind them, the staff member starts his timer, a skeptical look on his face.
Now behold, the important moment. When I prove the dorks in Laplace wrong about asymmetrical nuclide R.
The room is as dark and dusty as when Enigma last saw it, but to him it's a sanctuary. The towering piles of files and outdated equipment immediately isolated him from the rest of the world. Finally, he packed in his fortress.
Now, hypothetically, if the storm research were to succeed, 2 things should have been done.
He scribbles quickly on the dusty whiteboard. Safe usage of the ritual.
And to find out the safe way to use it, we have to...
What? Safe usage of the ritual for arcanists. Mass production of the ritual for humans. After part will it. Minimize the side effects.
This is what Lucy was thinking. The Awakened met the casting requirements of the incantation, and Ulrich succeeded, while the other Arcanists did not feel the same miraculous blessing like he did. So as long as we eliminate the side effects, they'll be able to inscribe the incantation and mass produce it for the humans. One problem is, only the Awakened can carry out the experiments, and there's not many of them around. It'll take too long. There's no way to do this in 24 hours. Heck, it could take months or even years. There must be something else we can do.
But you are not an Arcanist. Why should you play by their rules?
Yes, that's right. Let's try a different approach. What if I start with the desired outcome and work backwards to the question?
Alright. He crosses out the second step.
The quickest and most efficient way to save everyone is to make them qualified casters of the ritual. They won't even need protective equipment if we can do that. The challenge is, how do we qualify the casting requirements?
He looks at the papers on his deck in desperation.
Medicine Pocket's theory is correct, and there's enough data and supplementary experiments to back it up. The power of Arcanists is directly tied to the purity of their bloodline, which is associated with the special cells in their bodies. Using arcane skills reduces the activity of the cells, but the Picasma extract can reactivate them for extended casting. However, the extract only provides endurance, not power. It is physiologically impossible for a low-ranked Arcanist to cast a high-ranked skill. That's the reality of it. If we were to compare the power of Arcanists to household appliances, let's say their normal voltage is 230 volts...
They even use her like this.
And if the storm immunity ritual were a high voltage source of 1,000 volts, no, millions of volts, like lightning, the household appliances would be destroyed in an instant.
He is used to simplifying complicated arcane jargon to relatable example for a practical application.
As for the humans, they're not even in the picture. We cannot cast to begin with, and I personally didn't feel any blessing or curse when I recited half of the incantations that day.
He falls back into his chair, rubbing at his temple. The researcher struggles against his defeatist mindset, but the hopelessness is hard to ignore.
Think, how can I get everyone to meet the casting requirements of the ritual?
Basically just make a casting device, I guess.
Forget what's theoretically impossible. The Arcanum never gave a damn about certainties. I've been reminded plenty that logic does not apply to things like this.
Irritated, he pushes the paper aside and pulls the book of Arcanum from the mountain of clutter.
What about shortcuts? Are there records of transcendental rites? Significant celestial events? Sacrificial offerings? Or even Numa emanating ingredients that could boost the user's casting abilities? Wait, Numa emanating?
A thought flashes across his mind.
Where have I seen that word before? It was in the files Ulrich told me to read. The timekeeper's report from the Aegean Sea. Those islanders call the storm the emanation. Why? The emanation. Emanation. Just what is emanating out?
Oh. The door swings open with a loud bang, causing him to jump in surprise. The towering stack of books next to the door tumbles over, as if nudged by an invisible force. Then he hears a familiar sound, shuffling footsteps from the hallway outside, sticky and wet.
What the? Dawkins, I hope you know this is not the time to catch up. That is if you're able to talk at all. No! Let go! I've just come up with an idea! Leave me alone!
He presses himself against the desk, trying to resist being thrown out of the room. He screams across, stretching his finger until he finally reaches the red button.
You're not really here for revenge. And it wasn't you who pushed away the books and opened the door.
What?
The invisible ghost. Victor, did you do that?
The colossal mounted gingerbread man nods, surprisingly docile. Set him a whiteboard marker in the air, pick it up. Began to write on the wall. It's me. And the marker turns. Really? Enigma does as he spends his chest and walks out into the hallway. Outside, people are talking and laughing with genuine joy on their faces.
Ah, Researcher Adler!
A figure in shiny uniform suddenly stopped nearby. Enigma recognized her as the unfortunate college. I cannot read. Unfortunate college who worked with Medicine Pocket. College. Is that right? Colleague.
What happened? Any progress?
Colleague.
Yes, researcher Medicine Pocket has proved their theory right. They have successfully found the asymmetrical nuclide R in the air before the storm, even if only a trace.
What did you say?
They came up with the idea because the nuclide was initially found in the raindrop samples of the storm. They deduced it also exists in the air before the storm occurs, like the water droplets in the atmosphere before rain. So now, we can extract it directly from the air, without waiting for the timekeeper to bring the raindrops to us. This will help us a lot in the mass production of the protective gear.
Chip flashed off as she noticed the looks on his face.
No way. The emanation. Asymmetrical nuclide R. She was right. The ritual works. Any arcanist can use it. And the solution was right in front of us. I didn't need to boost the caster's abilities. With the right setup and materials, the world before the storm is already an enormous stage for performing the ritual. It's like a charged pylon just needing a cable.
Mr.
The man slips past her and starts running toward the other end of the corridor.
Thank you, Miss Whoever. And thanks for letting me know, Dawkins and Victor.
The technician looks around but sees no one. Nearby, a muddy head and a floating pen emerge from the door. Enigma makes his way to... Seriously? To the outlet door.
Let me in. I need to see Madam. Tell her. I found a way to transcend the limit.
Man, reading this story out loud is actually makes me really tired.
I'll spare you the technicalities and explain it straight.
He pauses the marker cap and draws a few lines on the board, exceeding confident with every stroke.
Our biggest problem is the limit of the bloodline. Low-rank arcanists can't command high-rank arcane rituals. Similar to how household appliances can't withstand what's beyond their designated voltage. In most cases, the caster can only use their own arcane circuits that run through. But what if the caster were in a special electric field? What if we used existing circuits on the outside and put the caster into a greater circuit? What if we factored in the entire planet and used the atmosphere to split the current flowing through us by adding more appliances to the circuit?
Don't be ridiculous, Adler. We are not household appliances.
The fellow Fred fronts, questioning the premise of Enigma's proposal.
Hold on, let me finish.
Lucy listened without a word, giving him some courage to go on. Here is a big circle next to the little person on the board.
24 hours before the storm, the entire world is charged with abundant arcane energy. It becomes a space emanating pneuma, a cloud ready to discharge, a special electric field. Look at asymmetrical nuclide R. The key to the storm immunity was inside the storm all along. And look at how the Mandragora is the antidote to its own poison. The solution can be hidden in the question itself. The arcane energy a caster inherently lacks can be borrowed from the surroundings during the storm. We just need a way to induct that energy. And Laplace happens to have all the data for the calculations. The observation systems we've built over the past 8 years have not been in vain. First, we derive a formula to determine the pneuma needed from the storm based on the Arcanist lineage. Then, we'll design a converter to transform the external pneuma into what they can use. They will no longer be bound by their limits. With just one calculation and one conversion, we can turn anyone into a capable caster.
He excitedly stretched out his arm and ends his epic monologue. It's a good thing that emotion cannot be read on an awakened being's face.
I knew I shouldn't have wasted my time listening to you. What are you saying, Adler? You made up a confusing story, then drew
The second part is purely theoretical, I admit. But the basis of my theory is correct, and I have read Medicine Pocket's paper.
But Arcanum is not electricity! You're too caught up in your excitement to remember the basics. You know nothing about Arcanum.
It's still a form of energy, yes? No one here knows what the storm is, but we do know that it's a massive arcane energy field. We can harness it, much like Arcanists use arrays to amplify their incantations.
I see what researcher Adler is trying to say. A creative solution indeed.
The director gets up from her chair and intervenes.
But ma'am...
Do not worry, Ulrich. I also have noticed that humans could be smart and stupid at the same time. Perhaps that is why they need to have their work peer-reviewed.
Thanks?
She nods amicably, pleased that her recently improved interpersonal skills have come in handy.
There is a type of electrophotography invented by Semyon Kurlian and his wife Valentina Kurlian in 1939 that depicts the energy field surrounding an object or body. It was later used by Laplace as a method of measuring arcane power, notably for the storm observation systems. Through it, we are able to capture and measure the arcane light or aura that is invisible to the naked eye.
Wasting no more time on meditation, the robot comes to a conclusion.
The plan of researcher Adler is feasible. Laplace also has the technology to support it. We have the storm observation stations, the capable casters, and the best mathematicians. Ulrich, please ask Miss Tider to lead the calculations, then experiment outside the safe zone and record the pneuma constant needed for casting the incantation. And do not give the incantation to anyone. I doubt they can resist trying it.
Ulrich heads out of Dr. Hum and leaves the room as instructed.
Simone, please contact Researcher X. His balancing helmet could be the prototype for our converter. That helmet balances the energy field in and out of our bodies, and was once used to protect researchers working with dangerous arcane skills. We could boost its power and use it as a substitute for Adler's converter. But we should postpone their testing request until we have completed our experiments on the side effects.
Her assistant gives a quick note and begins drafting the notice. The tasks are quickly assigned to the right people in less than a minute. Only one person seems to have been left out, Ulrich.
What about me, ma'am?
Oh.
Should I go with the calculations team or help with the converter?
He takes a tentative step forward, curious about his role in this endeavor.
Right. You have proven to us the value of human thoughts and perspectives. I am glad that your struggles with the bottle did not damage your brain, Adler. I am confident that your discoveries will save many lives in the storm once implemented.
The bottle? But it's been 7 years.
She just keeps on smiling.
But you overlooked one thing in your plan. What about your people? The humans who can never cast incantations.
An apt question.
They were not included in the plan. I just came up with something that took the least steps to reach the desire. To save humans, they'll have to rely on equipment. Only when we have better control over the ritual can we store it on arcane devices for mass production.
Then you should go perfect it.
Huh? We only have 16 hours and 30 minutes until the storm. There's not enough time to...
The feasible part of your plan is in motion, and all of Laplace will provide the help we need. We will make it work. As for yourself, perfect your plan so we can save everyone, including the humans. And we only have 16 hours and 30 minutes to find a solution.
The clear directions are given, clear, precise, with no room for ambiguity.
Understood. I will think of something. You're right about this one.
He turns and walks away with a long, purposeful strides. Behind Lucy, Simone has finished drafting.
There was no way he overlooked his own race. Yet, he still gave up his own people and brought this plan to us. Were we too hard on him?
Were we?
She turns nonchalantly and sits back in her chair.
But I made the right decision.
The internal line rings. The assistant puts down on the list side of it and grabs the phone.
Yes. Yes. We will provide the tech support.
She ends the call with a grave expression on her face.
It was Xeno, Mom. They lost contact with Team Timekeeper 3 hours ago. They're asking us for tech support. They have to make contact with the island immediately.
Mind sinks and floats in an ocean of lethargy. A piece of driftwood will be well timed.
Don't worry, Sophia. It is just a game. I won't be in there for long. You can wait for me on the beach if you want, okay?
They will dissolve into foam.
No! 37! Don't!
She wakes up on a cold piece
Where?
of rock.
What happened?
Nope. Did I press 7 then or? Oh well. I need to take a break for a bit. Wait a minute. Maybe I should just have to watch the story on YouTube or something. Once magnificent column are now reduced to represent regular stones.
I remember now. The island fell ill, and ch6 summoned all the integers to the cleansing ceremony. 37. She went to Apiron. They tended to their missions. I went to the square to pray for them, and then there was an earthquake.
Warp standard above, weaving out debris and the gold garments in their passing.
The human army? Wasn't the Foundation mediating the disputes? Did they be... I need to calm down. I need to find the others. Slow down and breathe. Stability is an essential virtue to becoming an integer. Okay. Let's clean up the place first.
She places a hand on the brass ruler at her waist and, as previous as ever, begins to recite the incantation.
Ena eftegromot mima. Schematizete otan enosume dios simia.
Nothing happens.
The incantation didn't work? Did they fail to perform the cleansing ceremony?
What is this? She stands frozen for what seemed like an eternity, disoriented and unsure. It feels like her. It feels like her world has crumbled beneath her feet. But then she noticed a familiar figure in the distance. Arcana.
Is that?
Nope. The man struggles to stand, rambling to the emptiness around him.
No one survives the oblivion.
His hysteria is acting up again. I should help.
Die, you lunatics! This is our land, right from the beginning!
When the smoke clears, 42 is gone.
No. No! Be calm. Be stable. Think. I have to go check on him. I can do this. Stay calm. He is just... He is divided into two numbers. 6 and 7.
Is he talking about the number or the amount of body parts that he can... The amount of body parts that she can find?
I have to find the others. I have to tell them about 42. Sophia! What are you doing here?
She hears a recognizable voice coming from the ruins. Up onto the hill, a woman raises her hand and calls to her. Oh no.
Get to the shelter! Into that... Miss 18... No... I can't... This can't be happening. I have to keep it together. Move. Sophia, get to the cave.
A quiet sound comes from the bushes. Oh no. A child covers in the foliage, shaking in terror.
I'm so scared. Everyone's gone crazy. It's okay.
But the child stared at her in panic, hugging her knees even closer to her chest.
No, I don't want to see them. They will go crazy. Everyone.
A drop of pain emerged on her face.
Lacey,
Lacey pushes her hand away. She turns around and runs deeper into the forest.
Her soul has tilted toward excess. This is wrong. I am the corrector.
Oops.
I have to right the wrongs here.
The world is warping, painted over with vibrant oily hues. Her headache is splitting. Each step feels like a walking on lava.
Come on, Sophia. Keep yourself together. Keep your soul in balance.
She closes her eyes and breathes, still not toward the excess. Lacey has gone out of sight, only herself remains to haunt her mind. Something needs to be done.
37. I must find her. I promised it to her. She is going to be fine. She's a prime number. And prime numbers are not as divisible as the others.
Alright. I'm not sure whether she said that literally as in her body or just the number.
She will pass the test of Apiron and receive the transcendental truth. For she is the genius, the wise one, who returns. We will right the wrongs and restore things to how they were.
Alright. This stand actually kinda scary. Kinda spooky as well. Protect heart. The rest of man is also blessed with divinity. For nature has already revealed her secrets to them. Once you understand this blessing, you will easily achieve all that is set upon you. You will heal your soul and be free from the evil and suffering. Ah, flashbang. A ray of light breaks through the darkness.
Sophia, you really waited for me. What happened to your clothes? Did you fall on your way here?
As always, she tilted her head curiously. She has not yet seen the chaos of war. She remains innocent, untouched by the dust of the phenomenal world.
37. I'm so glad to see you. You passed the test. You did it.
You seem emotional. Why? I told you it wasn't going to be difficult.
37. Things don't seem right out there. "37, you have seen Apiron, right? You asked the question, didn't you?"
37 blinks to focus to spread the glance at the world outside. For she is busy sharing her findings with a close friend.
Yes, and I got the answer. The answer that will save us from the emanation once and for all. And the answer is...
Is that it? The one true answer from Apiron is a string of numbers?
37 nods, having just recited the last number.
Yes, because the transcendental truth is beyond the limits of our mortal flesh. It cannot be described by words, seen by eyes, interpreted by logic, or perceived by the senses. It is passed to us in a form we can understand. Numbers. This is the key to the truth. Give me some time and I can decode it.
There's no time, 37. Her lungs burn with every breath she takes. Time is ticking and people are dying. Helplessly, mercilessly.
Time. 37. How long do you need?
A month or a week?
Yeah, that's not
I
gonna
will
cut
spend
it.
all my time working on it. It is not an easy question. Could be the hardest one I've ever dealt with in my life. But I will get there. And then we will be freed from all these problems once and for all. Even if we don't know its meaning yet, it will eventually lead us to the kingdom of truth.
Oh no. She stopped her enthusiastic explanation and looks at her friend worriedly.
Sophia? Why are you crying?
Sophia looks up at her. Tears stream down her cheeks.
That long? 37. A truth that distant won't change. What's in front of us now?
She breaks free from her friend's grasp and races into the smoke and dust on the phenomenal wall.
Sophia? Sophia!
She no longer knows why she is running. She no longer knows the purpose of her existence. She only knows on the wild, fiery sensation rising in her chest.
No. Calm yourself, Sophia. I have to.
You seem astray, child.
A detached figure looks on from the ruins on the beach, unperturbed by the chaos.
And sad. What pains you so? Has the truth not graced thee with its miracles?
Ruth stands days on the beach. She looks around the familiar island. The once pristine shores are now cluttered with the debris of human weapons.
How did this happen? I passed the test. I was granted the truth. I have the answer with me. What did I do wrong?
No, 37. None of this was your fault. Hysteria has come to this island, and people are caught up in it. It is the storm syndrome, taking the form of war.
The mind is growing increasingly tense. The situation has gone far beyond expectation.
Has it been 6 hours since we entered the cave? How strange dream. It lasted longer than I thought.
6 gave 2 hours to live, and now 6 hours have gone by. But the islander and the visitor are all too wrapped up in their own misery to notice.
This is bad. The plan we have with Zeno.
This objective is of the utmost importance. But where is the team now?
37.
I have to find Sophia.
She dashes into the forest, desperately searching for any sign of her red-headed friend. Just as she goes further, a faint call stops her. The leader looked even paler than usual. His robe is in tatters, and his crown is covered with dirt. He rests his back against a broken pillar, gazing up at her.
Have you passed the test? On what question did you seek its knowledge? And what answer did it give you?
Stunned by everything she'd just been through, 37 reached at the number for the third time, still a little dazed. He listened intently and falls into a silence.
6, weren't you going to perform the cleansing ceremony? And Sophia, she...
37 trails off as she noticed the dark fluid sipping from his robe.
Please come up to me, Miss Verton. I wish to have...
Oops. His voice is gentle, but his expression is grave. A gash ran across his stomach. His robe is soaked in crimson.
50 strides from here. On the semicircle square. You will find your friends and the rest of our people. I have done as much cleansing as I could. If nothing goes wrong, they will regain consciousness soon.
May I know what happened during the cleansing ceremony? 37 and I each had a bizarre dream after the earthquake. Did everyone on the island fall asleep too?
The island's order is forged by our faith. And now that faith has been broken, that is all there is to it.
What did you say?
Upon our arrival, I sensed a large-scale ritual surrounding the island. Is that the circle you kept talking about? Was it broken during the ceremony?
No, the ceremony was just a ceremony. It was never the source of our faith. Our journey was ended by the same thing that began it, Miss Verton.
He whispered softly without looking at 37.
Which is the truth.
The waves crashed onto the shore, bringing debris from the plains with them.
It doth not surprise me. The wise, so blinded by their pursuit of knowledge, they oft neglect the harshness of reality. A common downfall of the contemplative. Pray tell, in the midst of such overwhelming destruction, where has their vaunted wisdom gone? And what good does it bring in this final hour? I can hear thy weeping and bearing within, Miss Sophia. Many a time you have knelt at the temple of truth, devoted yourself, prayed for your people, and withstood the tribulations set upon you, all for the betterment of others. Thy character is without reproach.
She lifted her hand, smiling above. She lifted her hand, smiling. Above, the roar of warplanes persists.
Yet the truth has never deemed you worthy, has it?
No, that's not...
She wants to live, but her feet are rooted in sand. She wishes to defy, but her body refuses to budge. And where would she possibly go after all this?
You shall be granted a greater opportunity, a blessing that befits thy devotion.
She really looks like 77. Minus the hair color. Her unsettling tone causes the girl to instinctively step back.
No. That's a violation of the scripture. We shouldn't.
The scripture? Yet you were never truly counted as one of them, do you not agree? As evidenced by the decision that truth hath made. No one escapes their fate, as ever.
I don't understand.
Hmm? Alright, I guess I just have to find the meaning of the square root too. What's the different number that when multiplied is that? Okay. Proof of irrationality. Is that it? Proof of irrationality. It's not rational. Ah. Okay, it's not rational, is that the reason why she lost her faith? That's just effectively declared that their faith is dead.
I know the answer given to Mama was right. The transcendental law is gone and the supreme existence is in chaos. This caused our model to fail and allowed the discord in the phenomenal world to affect the essence of things. But did the truth really fall apart? Chaos is also a form of truth, is it not? Just like how irrational numbers are numbers. Despite our dislike of them, they still exist and cannot be denied.
She stepped forward, hoping for an answer.
But how? How did this become the destruction of our people's faith?
ch6 still does not look at her.
You will hear no answer from me, 37, for that is not the question worthy of your attention. Do you still remember what you answered to me in the cave?
She nods, holding back the whirlwind of question in her mind. She kneels beside him and takes his hand in hers, gazing at him with intense focus. Her eyes are still glittering like the stars above, unaffected by the tumultuous waves below.
That would be enough then.
There's a hint of relief in his tone.
Don't waste your time on the collapse of the faith. Don't question yourself because others think differently. Walk onto the path you have chosen. You have done nothing wrong.
This is a lesson that takes time to understand, one that can be grasped so quickly. She blinks softly, holding the lesson close to her heart.
Miss Verton, I'm afraid I must trouble you for a favor.
He quickly places his hand over the wound, and a fine glow of his arcane power coalesces in his palm. Did I read that right? But the glow lasts only a moment, like a shooting star springing into the night.
As you can see, I can hardly take part in this matter for any longer. Should the situation turn for the worse, please take 37 to safety and assist her in decoding the numbers.
You have my word.
It is a vague request with unspoken implications. The leader nods, looking on the distant ruin. His empty blue eyes are getting dimmer by the minute.
We are born facing a choice. Either we restrain ourselves and strive for harmony and discipline, or succumb to destruction fueled by passion and madness.
True.
Though the former may be challenging, the latter will only plunge us into eternal darkness.
Correct.
From 1 to 10, each number has its moral purpose and mission. Among them, only 6 was chosen to be the leader.
Because 6 stands for balance.
Yes, we must pay heed to the balance between passion and reason, so as to stay on the right path and not be led astray by the calling of our blood. For generations, we committed ourselves to the scripture and stayed true to what we pledged. We left the trivialities and troubles of the phenomenal world behind and served the Supreme Existence with the fruits of our knowledge. This kind of faith was how the island prospered, and it was the source of our salvation. Through diligent practice and contemplation, we managed to remain secluded and independent from the rest of the world.
The irrational numbers that your people rarely appreciate, are they faced with a different path? A path of passion and madness?
The leader nods slightly, acknowledging her speculation.
We have been long isolated from the outside world by one emanation after another. 4 years ago, we tried to seek proof in the outside world, but failed. We regrettably lost some of our best scholars and friends in the process. However, it was not the failed attempt that led to this upsetting situation, but a crisis from within. Now with our ship capsized and our scale fallen, I am no longer able to reconcile the tilt of people's hearts and souls. We will be divided. The fanatics from the foreign lands can finally spread their hatred amongst the ruins of our shattered beliefs.
I will stop Manus Vindictae.
Forget not your promise, Miss Verton.
Wait, so how did he survive?
Six, we came to bid you farewell. Everything happened here proves you to be an incapable leader. Your preachings of moderation and reconciliation were nothing but excuses for cowardice. Where were you when the humans dropped bombs on us? What did your cleansing do to help us? If those virtues are meant to be the virtues of an integer, then I would prefer to be a fraction.
Please listen. The integers were unconscious during the attack because the ceremony was...
Out of my way, 37. You knew nothing about what happened. You were in that cave having fun with your little games. The envoy from Manus Vindictae was right. We have grown too complacent on the island and have forgotten how to fight. We foolishly believed that staying out of conflicts would guarantee us everlasting peace. Now, open your eyes to the humans' atrocities against us. How can we not seek revenge for our spilled blood?
Well,
we must act and reclaim what was taken from ours. That is the true meaning of salvation.
I don't know about that. Their anger continues to escalate. 37 shakes her head, firmly refusing to back down.
It is true that I was absent earlier, but please listen to me. Everything will get better because I already have the truth with me.
The truth? What good will it do right now? Will it drive out the humans? Will it reclaim our home? Will it bring back our deceased friends?
Man rushes an incantation, a simple spell from the truth that anyone in a parent could cast on their first day. But now that their faith has crumbled, the Radiant is no longer here. There.
What salvation did your truth bring when steel pierced our chests? Manus Vindictae granted us the power to fight back. What did the Foundation do?
One angry question after another. Sticky, slimy fluids ship through their mask. Oh no.
Don't waste your time with these integers. The Foundation's envoy is here. It is clear they have taken the side of the humans. Kill the envoy, cut off her head, and bring it to our mother!
What?
The mask has robbed them of reason. There's no point in talking further. Take 6 to safety, 37. I'm the one they are after.
Then how are you going to...
I will meet with Sinetta at the square. Miss Radio is with them, and we will contact our people from there. Don't worry. We had a plan against the Manus, and we can still carry it out. Now, run!
Wow, still long. Damn, that's still a lot to read. Oh well, that's it for today, I guess. I need to wake up early tomorrow.